and I am trying to do a live today to give you a look at what I'm doing to make a strawberry shortcake with some delicious fresh strawberries. It is strawberry season, and I have washed and I have cleaned and sorted through and got the prettiest strawberries, and the other ones, like this one, I get them about equal height, and I'm actually slicing them about 4 or 5 times vertically, and they're going to be a decoration, and you want them like this. So that's probably maybe 2 to 3 cups of strawberries for the decorations. In this container, I chopped up some of the strawberries that might not be the prettiest. And it's about 2 cups of strawberries, and I added, it only took like a half a cup of sugar to make this juice. And this is what you want, the sweet, juicy, delicious, fresh strawberries that were just picked yesterday. And so they're chopped, and they're lightly sweetened because they were sweet enough already. And let's see, I've got 1 cup of powdered sugar, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and I've got a instant cheesecake Jello pudding. Now this is how I make all of my whipped icings. I use 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, a cup of powdered sugar, and then the Jello flavor that I'd like. And with the strawberry layered cakes, the best to me is the cheesecake flavoring. Now I have baked my yellow cake recipe there. I baked it into 2 layers, and I actually trimmed the top of one, and that serves 2 purposes. The far one there, the far layer, what it does is actually creates a place where all that delicious strawberry filling can get in. And I'm going to show you. We're going to start putting this thing together. Okay. First of all, in my mixer over here, I am going to put the 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and I'm going to add the cup of powdered sugar. All right, so we're going to get that going. I've got a lint-free muslin cloth that I use to put over it to hold it so that the whipping cream does not splatter. Let me get my whipping whisk attachment. Have you guys got your strawberries yet this year? It's strawberry season. It is in full swing where we're at, and we're very blessed. I got these beautiful strawberries from Pam Ross, but I'm going to start that out on low, and then you work your way up to high, and I'm going to cover that because it does splatter. Now, while that is going, it's going to go on high. I hope y'all can still hear me. It's going to go on high for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to add the Jello instant pudding. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and open that. Make sure you shake it down so it doesn't come out the top when you open it. Okay? I'm just going to have this on standby. I'm going to go ahead and put the cut layer I've got that on the turntable. Now I'm going to show you what this whipping cream will look like. You see there? We don't need this anymore now. Okay. You do not want to overbeat whipping cream, but I have tried the gelatin, the unflavored gelatin to stabilize it. It's okay. It just leaves a bad aftertaste, but to me, the Jello pudding is the way to go, and the cheesecake is a wonderful flavor. I actually happened on that by accident. I was going to use a white chocolate. Let me scrape these sides down real quick. I always take this off and beat it, and I'm going to scrape the sides down. And after you add the Jello, you only have to whip it about another minute. It doesn't take long to incorporate it. Okay. And put this back. And I'm going to let you watch this. It will come right on back together. Now, this is a stabilized icing for this cake. You can use any other flavor that you want. You could use white chocolate, Jello, you could use vanilla. I just love this cheesecake. Okay, there it's ready to go. And we're going to start putting this stuff together. Now, if you want a huge amount of icing, you can make like a recipe and a half or a double recipe if you're making several layers. I just made 2 layers. I'm going to put this in a piping bag. I've got a Wilton 1M as in Mary tip. I just got some on there. And I like the 1M tip. Let me show you why. It's a star tip, and it will help. I'm going to push it to the end till it starts coming out. It will actually help me ice the cake. I'm going to back this up so you can see what I'm doing now, okay? Let's see if that'll be a good angle. These lives are interesting sometimes, but I have to do it on my lunch hour. And I didn't really want to edit anything. So what I'm going to do is take this and make a double border around with that piping tip. Did y'all see that? I just went around it twice. It creates a border. And what we're going to do is take all of this strawberry shortcake filling and put it in the middle here. Ta-da! I'm just going to go around with it and even it out. Okay. And see, that creates kind of a barrier for us with that. Now we're going to put the other layer on it. And I put it on upside down so that the flat side, let's get this angle a little better. Hold on. I can't operate like this. Let's see. I think you'll be able to see like that. I put it on upside down so you have a smooth edge there. And then make sure everything is centered. That's good enough. All right, what I do is in this area, the gap here, I come and I put another layer of filling or the cheesecake icing right there to smooth it out. And I hold this offset. This is a small offset spatula. You can get them from Amazon. I happen to love the ones from Pampered Chef. So I have about 4 or 5 of them. They're just perfect. And what we're going to do now, and I know I'm going to have to reload, I do a zigzag pattern when I'm icing my sides of my cake. Okay, fill up that piping bag again. Sometimes I do at least a recipe and a half. This is just a single recipe. And these are 2 9-inch cake layers. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hold this stationary. And I love these turntables, y'all. Do y'all have a turntable? Anybody have one? They are handy dandy, convenient, wonderful. And then I've about got the sides iced. And, you know, you got to make a mess before you make a masterpiece. That's about my, what do you call it? That's a little saying I've got. Make a mess before you make a masterpiece. Well, and we're going to take just a little bit and cover the top. And this is not going to be thick. This is actually going to be just a thin layer, just enough to cover it. And you're going to be able to see through it a little bit. We're going to cover it with some more icing. And I actually might make a little bit more. This is one recipe, and if you're not going to decorate and create a whole lot of beautiful swirls and things like that, this is a gracious plenty just to ice this cake and put strawberries on top of it. And you can certainly do that. But if you want to make the fancy swirls like this and things like that, you're going to want to probably make a recipe and a half of this icing. And I'm going to quickly reload this bag and show you what we're going to do with the strawberries coming up next. It's a beautiful pattern. Now, this is not, I'm not able to edit. This is live TV, live video. Okay. All right, this is all she wrote for the icing. Hold on, get some air out of there. There we go. And I make a round rose, and then I'm gonna cover it. Let's see, make a little border down here. I hope y'all are having a good day. It has warmed up a whole lot. It sure has. Let's see if I can get some more. But, you know, just to have an extra amount of icing to play with and make it extra fancy, yeah, you'd probably want to do a recipe and a half of the icing, but I think we're going to be okay. All right. I think you can see it now. And I get my knife and move my strawberries over here. And let's get to some pretty work going. Now, with these strawberries, I picked some uniform size strawberries. And can you see there? I just slice it 1, 2, 3, like 4 little cuts. And that's what you want, okay? And then you put them, you layer them side by side, going this way, all the way around. So this is really easy. It's my vanilla cake recipe, and you know I doctor it up. I'm going to put the link in the comments and description to my vanilla cake that people rave about. And or you can do it on a pound cake. I've got a pound cake recipe too. Or you can do these ingredients on little mini cakes if you've got those little fancy cake pans. But we're just taking this and layering it. It's all about visual presentation. And do you remember where I said you got to make a mess before you make a masterpiece? It wasn't looking like it was going to be much for a while, did it? Now, I've got a little extra wide room there. So I'm going to stagger them a little bit. Do you see? It wasn't quite covering it. So you lay one to the left, and then you lay one to the right. And you end up almost with a braided area there. And see, there is nothing wrong or right to do about this. It's all in what you want to do. And this isn't hard, y'all. I'm just laying them on here like blocks. It's not hard. Not at all. And these are so juicy and so flavorful. I'm just going to kind of make a mound right here and put them all together. And probably put a whole strawberry there. All right, now let me show you something pretty to do for the side, for the middle. You can make a strawberry fan. If you leave the pretty greenery on it, pick out one of your prettiest strawberries. Start at the side. Don't go all the way through. Just go maybe almost 4/5 of the way. And you slice through to the edge. And then you fan it out like that. Do y'all see that? I just made a strawberry fan. And there you go. And what you can do with the extra is put it around the bottom. You can put it around the bottom. Now, I'm hurrying for several reasons. But, you know, you can, I actually probably would have just put this at the bottom and not put a border, but I've got a border. That just means extra icing to eat, and that's fine. But I'm going to take a picture of this and let that be the thumbnail of this live. But it's looking all right, I think. I think we're getting it. What y'all think? But y'all can make this. It's 2 vanilla cake layers. 2 cups, I would do 3 cups of whipping cream and a box and a half of Jello with a cup and a half of powdered sugar. You could just do 1.5 recipes of that rest, you know, so you have a gracious plenty. But I had just enough, really. I don't think that's bad looking, do y'all? And the key is getting these sweet strawberries and getting them all cut up and ready to go. And this cake has been a very big favorite of my friends. And it's the most requested for somebody's birthday. The whole family likes this cake. It's the running, actually, not a joke, but the running request, I think. What do you want? I want that strawberry shortcake layer cake with cheesecake icing. And that's what it is. And hold on a second, y'all. I'm going to rinse my hands. One thing about working with these strawberries, they're amazing. And I'm going to actually get this. Hold on a second.